And they have like really small torsos, or they
I read an article this morning, like 18, or not 18.
Yeah, they get ribs removed to make their waist
Yeah.
skinnier, and then they get so much surgery to make themselves look like a doll.
And they don't stop.
They can't.
They
They have an
get to
obsession.
the- yeah.
They have an obsession with
trying to be
It's just
trying
like
to be like something else, trying to be fake.
Yeah.
Fake.
What do you guys
They're being fake.
think
They're not
happens
being
more
themselves.
in hate crimes? Racism or like transgender lesbian?
I feel like
I feel
Me?
like the
I feel
I feel like the transgenderism
because
the,
I feel, and this sounds really wonky. In a way, I don't believe in racism. I don't. I feel like when there's on the news and all these people are saying that these white cops are racist for shooting these
no, that's the,
teens, and
they're
stuff,
doing their
they're
job.
doing their job.
they're doing their
And
job.
when
Seeing I mean, yes, granted, some people are racist, and
they make fun of other
yes,
races.
and
That's racism.
I don't think it's right.
that
but
is.
when people sit and say that just because a cop is white and he is like using self-defense because maybe a African American
And say-
person
A lot
is
of
coming
times,
is like trying to harm them or doing something that to where the police need to use lethal force just because the policeman is white,
and then
not trying to be racist, but it's not being
unless
racist by using lethal force or using self-defense because of the other person being African American. Like,
legally,
you can't just like not have the same punishment because of race.
Yeah, to add on to that,
I hate you.
you hear about white people killing black teenagers all the time. Have you ever heard about a black guy killing a white teenager?
No.
Ever? Have you ever heard about that on the news?
No, exactly.
See,
It's all biased.
It is. What I believe, I think racism was something at some point,
Yeah.
but I think as it passes
Think
on,
back-
it's just stereotypes.
What I
Yeah,
think back,
basically.
Martin Luther King, they couldn't even ride at certain places on
Same
the bus.
bus.
They couldn't sit at certain places in a diner.
They would call
That
them
was
the
racist.
N-word.
That was
racism.
That's racist.
The Holocaust-
Segregation, discrimination.
The Holocaust, that was racism.
Yeah.
But now, it's just
I
biased.
don't even call but like
I wouldn't call that necessarily racism.
It's
yeah,
not
like
because
the Holocaust. They
it was
killed
everything-
disabled people. They
yeah.
killed.
it was
Yeah.
everything besides blonde hair, blue eyes,
Yeah.
and a certain height.
I feel like that's just
I mean, that was a hate crime, but there was racism involved.
anyone that didn't fit their needs
Mhm.
was killed.
Yeah.
That's not directly associated with racism though. That's like
No, I mean, there's a
It
lot
is-
of, there's
it
a lot
is.
of.
That's
There's a lot of it,
that's
but that's not-
genocide.
yeah.
It's different.
It's a whole different topic.
Yeah, it's racism to an extent, but
Say this: a cop, it's legally, if you're just getting pulled over for, speeding,
yeah.
legally a cop can't even have a hand over his weapon. He
Unless-
can have it on a taser, but he can't have it on his pistol if they're carrying a pistol even. Unless you pose a threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so when a cop gets a call saying,
reaching into your pocket unannounced.
yeah,
If you reach down for something, they're gonna be
which
ready.
is why you always ask,
You always
can
ask,
I reach
can
for
I
this?
reach
Yeah.
for my pocket? Can I do this?
Yeah,
Can I do
but when a cop gets a call saying
Like-
there's a shooting, there's not even a shooting, there's a crime going on, and we believe this teen is
Be
armed.
harmful. Yeah.
If they're armed, they're gonna go in with their guns already out.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
if
they're
they're
gonna-
armed,
like-
then they're gonna lose their own lives.
Like the case
with the
a
airsoft
while
gun?
back. No, not the airsoft gun, but it was a while back, and I don't remember when, but it was obviously back to the racism thing. It was a white cop killing a black man in his car when he was reaching for his driver's license, and the cop thought he was reaching for a gun,
They
so
don't.
he shot
Yeah,
him,
they don't know.
killed him, shot him
That's
dead.
why.
You
That's
gotta
why
be
they take-
smart. You gotta be smart when a
He
cop
didn't-
pulls you
he
over for
didn't-
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and like they make you roll down your window.
Yeah.
And when they want you to get out of the car, they make you reach outside to open
Yeah.
it from the outside
Yes.
angle. I learned that from Live PD, which is a great
I
show.
love
And
that
if-
show. I
And
watch
if
it
you're
so much.
gonna get pulled over, you might as well play it safe, I guess you could say, and put your hold on the steering wheel. Just
That's what you're
put
supposed
your
to do.
car in park and just hang
Yeah.
on to the but do it on the top. Hang on to the top or something, so they know that you're not going to drive away.
And you gotta be
Just be respectful.
You
basically.
have to be respectful. You can't have a cop come to your window and be awful,
Yeah.
because then there's
Probably get
crimes that go with that.
And
Though,
most likely get arrested.
as much as we're complimenting the police force, there are very bad cops.
There are
Yes,
some
We-
situations where it's like
We have the right now. Well, we're not legal. Well, we can't legally drive, but right now we have the right to have a camera recording if we get pulled over.
Yeah, dash cam.
And I've seen so many situations where the cop says, "Can you please turn that off?" Now, if you're like, "No, I ain't gonna turn that off," then you're being
Then,
disrespectful.
yes.
You're being
But if you say, "I have the right," I'm sorry, not even sorry, but I have the right to do this, they can't fight that. They know the
Yeah.
law. They're just
Yeah.
trying to, and cops do mess with teens a lot more.
yeah.
I mean, those are easy targets because teens don't know the law like they do. Adults don't even know the law. They just assume that they do.
Yeah.
Back on the airsoft thing, isn't
I mentioned it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
don't you have like don't you need to have like markers on an airsoft
Yeah, the
gun that
orange,
show
the
that
orange
one,
barrel
yeah.
tip. Yeah. But like that kid didn't even have it. And when you see someone walking down the street with like just even a handgun, and it doesn't have that orange tip to signify that it's not a real gun,
Mhm.
how do you know? You could think that you're about to die if the kid like comes walking towards you with a pistol in his hand. How are you supposed to know that it's not real?
Honestly,
you have
you
to
can-
do something.
You have to
can't-
assume
And if
that
like
it's gonna be real.
you ask the kid to put the thing down and he doesn't, then you have
Then
the like right to.
I don't know if you have the right to. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if you have the right to use lethal force then, but you
could,
have
like,
the right to use force.
You could like tackle him, pin him
Yes.
down, take his gun or something.
But you can't like if he's like, please remove your gun, and you're not a cop, because obviously the cop has authority over that. But if you're just a civilian and you're worried, like, hey, can you just show me that? Because I'm freaking out right now. And they say no, you can't pull out your gun and just unload a full clip, because then you're charged with third-degree murder or first. I don't know how it works. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell, and
And
especially.
that's why most police wear body cams now, just for that reason,
Mhm.
like just in
Evidence.
case.
And like, I think it's a lot harder now too. I love the concealed carry law.
Mhm.
If you're 21, you have a good record, and you can. Is it 21 or 18? 18, right?
I think it's 18. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you're a legal adult. If you're 18, you have a good record. You can go in and you can buy yourself a handgun if it like meets requirements.
And then take the concealed weapons
Yeah.
class.
And I can see where that would get confusion, especially dealing with the law.
But it has to be concealed. You can't just walk in with it in
Yeah,
your hand. It
no,
has to be
no,
in a holster.
yeah, no, yeah.
And
But it's a wise thing to have.
yep.
Yeah, self-defense purposes, and like on the news, I've seen that schools are now having teachers have a handgun
That's
in like their desk or
That's
something.
wrong.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
Like, what are the? You've heard about like you
Yeah,
think
they like train teachers.
A teacher to have anything that could harm anyone in their desk, I think is wrong.
Yeah.
and like you hear about so many school shootings, but out of how many schools are in the U.S. and out of like how many schools it's actually happened to,
Mhm.
it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's
Like Meyer, she taught at a big
ghetto,
school,
yeah.
a big ghetto school.
Lloyd, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Lloyd.
I still don't think she didn't have a gun. She didn't have a knife. I believe she had pepper spray, which I still find wrong, but legally she can have that.
Yeah.
But I still find that kind of wrong.
yeah.
We're taught. Even our school is taught how to defend ourselves and how to prepare for
Yeah,
it.
Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
but-
Phelps
well-
actually has this I wouldn't call it a degree, but he has a permit to like pin kids down and like stifle them so they don't.
I don't know. I feel like not like arguing with you or anything. But I just feel like that pepper spray would be a fine because it doesn't do permanent damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
yeah.
it's just
I
like,
agree with that more than a gun or a knife.
Yeah.
It's
I feel
just
like
to suppress
You
the
just
Yeah,
you
stun,
still have to do.
stun.
stun. Yeah.
But
I agree with having it, but
Or
it's
use
still
vision.
there is still situations where it could go.
I feel like
wrong.
the next school shooting that happens, teachers are gonna be allowed to have like grenades or something because that's how that's
F1
how-
grenades.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just like-
how defensive like
Our handbook says no missiles.
Yeah, it does actually.
God.
well, I think
Some.
I agree with the pepper spray thing only if the teacher has like almost a perfect background.
Yeah, I feel like if you have
if
some
they don't have
Well,
anger issues like
Don't you
mine
have
do.
to have a good background for to be a teacher anyway?
Yeah, but you like for pepper spray and
Yeah.
I mean
Well, I mean,
I feel like
technically,
it-
pepper spray anyone can buy.
yeah
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
my-
you can.
My cousin, she has it on her
yeah,
keychain.
Brooke Stefanik.
She has a little
We went
pepper
with
spray
her
on her
too.
keychain.
We went with her and Mitch to Kinder Mountain down in Watha, and then they walk in 5 minutes later, both came out with pepper spray. I mean, it's easy to buy.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to go get it off a certain place online.
I
You
feel-
can go into your normal store and get it.
I feel like having pepper spray on you is like
It's wise.
it's
Yeah.
wise because you never know when something's gonna happen. I feel like that's why teachers do have it because
Mhm.
a kid can like come at him with a chair or something.
I mean,
And
yeah.
how are they supposed to stop that? How are you supposed to stop a chair?
Unless you knew.
unless they told you.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, I'm
gonna
gonna
throw a
hit you with the chair. Yeet.
Corny.
He like catches it with his teeth.
Just like.
That'd be freaky.
I feel like that'd be something he'd be able to do.
Yeah, Gordy scares me. I feel like Gordy doesn't need to have a weapon. If he was like in a
Gordy is a
He is a
weapon.
weapon.
I feel like if Gordy was like in like Sandy Hook or something, I don't think he would need anything to defend himself.
No.
He could take 4 bullets before he falls.
At
From,
least.
from anything, even from an AR-15. Stupid. But like, you never know. I think pepper spray is a lot more necessary than handguns in schools
definitely.
because, like, you don't need to kill someone
You
to
should.
defend it.
You should never
You should
shoot
just-
to kill unless you're in the military.
Yes.
Even in self-defense, you should probably
Even
never
if
shoot.
like I was in
No,
a
they shoot like they're shooting an arm.
yeah, if I was
And then if
in
they pick up what the other shoot,
if I was in like
shoulders.
a life or death
Shoulders.
situation, I wouldn't try and kill the person. I just try and like pop a cap in their knee.
Even, I mean, in some
Oh.
situations, if I wasn't,
Okay, if you get shot in the knee, are you
You're
gonna try
not
and
walking.
shoot him?
You're not walking.
You're falling to the
You're
ground
not
and you're
walking.
gonna start freaking.
or stomach, because that's, I mean, it's nowhere near
But
too
the
many
stomach,
vital
you
organs,
could-
but you'll bleed.
Yeah, and you could bleed out those. So.
I feel like if you get shot and it like goes through your femur, you're not gonna be
You're not gonna be walking.
You're not gonna be walking. You're not gonna be trying to fight back. You're gonna fall to the ground and you're gonna freaking
You're-
probably pass out from the pain.
Yeah.
Arms and legs are the best, if necessary. Like if you,
Also, in a situation where I wasn't, say that this person didn't have a gun, maybe, and they had a knife or something like that. In that situation, I would just shoot around them. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to scare them enough.
Just shoot
This
at their
guy's got a
feet.
gun, I got a knife, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or even
shoot,
just pull it
shoot
out.
at their feet.
Show them that you have it, and they're going to
Yeah.
be like, no.
No, I ain't messing
Have a
with
good-
this.
have a good
Gordy.
day, sir.
They got a gun.
Like, shake your hand and, like,
Have a good
kiss
day,
you in the
sir.
back of your
Turn on
hand.
Africa.
Yeah.
What? Irrelevant.
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 how long have we been going for?
Probably a while.
We had the one that when it shut off, it was 15 minutes. This one's probably like 15. Just put it
So it's probably about an hour.
little.
We're gonna edit all this out.
No. This is our first. This is our first podcast, so it's gonna be raw footage of us.
Yeah.
It'll be more fluent in the future, but
We could probably
Hmm?
wait another priest.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
don't want
I mean,
too long.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We don't want people to like click off the video.
Let's go on to a new topic. We could talk about guns for a
Okay.
while.
new
Yeah.
topic. Yeah, I like talking about politics and like all this gun control and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like if Hillary runs in 2020, she's gonna get absolutely destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know how many people are like, "Oh, Trump's not gonna win," and blah blah blah. Of all like, you look at the map to see like the
Where the
The-
village is was.
the more
Villages.
Republican country or
Side of the
countries,
country.
yeah, the more Republican or Democratic states, there's probably like 20 more Republican than
States,
Democratic
so-
states.
Mhm.
And I see like the big, like highly populated places like New York or California or places like that, they're gonna be mostly Democratic
Yeah,
because
because they want the
lot
gun,
more-
they want the gun control
yeah,
stuff
a lot
like
more
that.
influence, things like that.
And then
when you
everyone else, small towns
Small
or
towns,
or south
yeah,
in the south.
Yeah, like
everyone
small-
everyone
small
wants their
towns.
guns. Everyone wants to hunt up north. Everyone wants to
like I doubt there's ever gonna be. I doubt Montana or the Dakotas or like even Kentucky. Maybe not Kentucky, like Kansas or Nebraska. I feel like those I keep saying countries. I feel like those states are never gonna go Democratic because they're so like just out of the way of all like the bad things that happen. I mean, you hear an occasional crime happening from like a really like
Random place.
random place, and I'll be like, it's not like that's gonna change your whole belief system of like
No.
gun control and things like that.
Yeah.
It's the more populated places that it's more likely to happen with the more people and the bigger schools and the bigger.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, okay, we have billions of people on the planet. Not
seven, like almost 8 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, right. 8 billion, right? People, there's probably a few, multiple kids born every day. But
Yeah.
there's also a lot of people that die every day, either old age, health effects, or homicides or suicides. But, I don't know where I was going with this.
I don't know, I feel
You
like
can't
I feel like
control-
the
you can't
birth
control-
rate is higher.
Someone's
Oh, yeah.
gonna die every day. It sounds really weird.
Yeah,
Someone's
like every,
gonna die.
every second. I thought.
So if
Every
you
half
change your mind over one death, I mean, it's understandable if it was a family.
Like if like a crime happens that's like been tried to be stopped before, and it happens like one of your family members, you're probably gonna change your belief system on that. Like
Yes,
say
because
it
you lost someone you loved
over that reason.
Yeah.
But if don't get me wrong, I hated to lose a family member. But if I lost one to an AR-15, I wouldn't be like, oh no, they have to ban AR-15s.
No.
They could have been killed with a pistol. They could have been killed with just any sort of gun. But having like just a few school shootings, and only some of them used AR-15s.
Right.
There's no reason to ban them.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, what year was that when there was like, it was like 18? Was that last year or was that 2016?
I know
Or not
last
16,
year they had the one in Florida, and then in 16.
Or
they had-
17, they had a lot. There was like,
I wouldn't
one
say a
in
lot, just more
California,
than
there was like, there was a
One in
few in
Florida.
California, a few in
Yeah.
Florida, there was one like middle of, but okay, how many of, I mean, yeah, I doubt there was like, probably one with an AR-15.
Birth and death rate is 4 people per second are born, and then 2 people per second die.
Keep talking. I'm
So
going
it's-
something else.
Okay,
So
2 to 1.
2 to 1.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, why wouldn't they just write 2?
it's I don't know. It's weird.
Well, because that would just be the ratio, not
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
actual
Yeah, it's
rate.
like 360,000.
Okay, So, I looked up how many schools are in the U.S. and according to the 2009 and 2010, there's 2,000 short of 100,000 schools, and you've heard
So
school shootings in
98,000.
probably four schools.
Which, I mean, don't
That's
get me,
that's
that's four
four
too many.
That's four
But
too many.
that's not
But out of
100,000.
100,000 schools, I mean, if it happened to probably like maybe even over like 10,000 schools, like there's been like attempts of like murder or just like bad things going on in those schools, I can see why maybe then they start to like regulate gun usage and things like that. But
Yeah.
if it happens to just a few schools out of 100,000,
Mhm.
what are
Yeah.
the chances of that? Like people die of like there's
Everything.
there's 8 billion people on Earth, and people die to random things every day. Like I know
Car
that rabies,
crash,
yeah,
every-
car crashes. I know that rabies
Think-
kills like 20 people per year.
Right.
I saw that.
Yep.
And then they took like a bunch of precautions to stop that rabies, like a rabies outbreak.
Right now,
And-
especially up here,
20 out of
think how many people
8
die.
billion people is like 0.0001%.
Yeah. Think, like, especially like up here especially like in Three Lakes and Eagle River.
Yeah.
How many people die yearly from snowmobiles and ATVs? Snowmobiles are like the biggest like reasons for death, especially up here in Eagle River.
Any like
Because
vehicles.
No
It's
one,
up
no
here,
one
it's-
looks when they cross the road.
Yeah,
they
and
just
everyone
go-
up here is
go
going
through.
from bar to bar.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
th-
just going from bar
and
to
there's-
bar to bar.
There's not laws. Well, I mean there is, but they're not like super strict laws like drinking and driving.
No.
For drinking and snowmobiling or drinking and boating, they're not as strict of laws,
Yeah.
but they're still there.
They need
Yeah,
to
like,
be.
I went. When I was
Honestly,
in
drinking
town.
and boating is probably more dangerous than driving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Drinking and doing anything
Yeah,
that
it's
takes
a dangerous
your
combination.
drinking
takes
and
your-
doing anything that
Mhm.
like that requires you to do something besides sleep.
This
exactly. But anyway, like, I was in town with my family and we're going, getting ready to leave or whatever, go back home and get some snowmobilers come up to us when we're at the gas station, getting ready to head home, and we get asked, how to get to the closest bar or where the next closest bar is. Like, we didn't tell them because it's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
it's not-
shouldn't
I mean,
be
even-
going around from bar to bar drinking and riding.
I'm gonna interject on this. Okay.
Yep.
So like the legal drinking age is 21 years old,
21.
right? And I've done not, I wouldn't say research, but I've read that the brain stops fully developing at like 24.
At 24.
Yeah. So
And
They
still,
should change
the
that.
drinking laws are at 21. It used to be at 18. Now they're up to 21.
because your brain wasn't fully,
Fully developed,
but
but
it still
it's still
isn't
not.
It's
at
still
21.
not.
You're
It's still
gonna-
not.
like-
That's average at 24. Some people might not
Yeah.
until 27,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
and some people
There's-
might at 18.
Yeah.
And you know
it just
how-
depends
yeah.
how your body grows.
I mean, like probably 80% of the people in our high school probably drink
Oh yeah.
as of right now.
Think
A
of
lot of
the
people
amount
do.
of people in our high school that smoke.
Just Juul and stuff. It's just
Not even that, like weed and more than that, honestly.
it's dumb. In such a small school, there's these like, it's still the
Yeah,
same
everyone-
problems as like a
Everyone
large school.
thinks that all the bigger schools are so bad and that, like,
Like,
I'm not
this
trying
is,
to,
bro.
I'm not trying to like diss our like the small towns in our school, but like
I hate it.
everyone thinks all the
I
bigger,
hate this. But keep going.
but everyone thinks that the bigger schools are such a problem with all these drugs and
Mhm.
alcohol and everything.
No.
But the
It
small
doesn't just happen there.
yeah, the small schools and the small towns, it happens just as much. It's just not as many kids because
It's
there
proportionate.
This is like
because there isn't
proportional.
yeah because
It's
there
like-
not as many.
It's like 1 to 5 people in big schools probably Juul, and that's probably the same in
Oh,
our
yeah.
school. Maybe
Yeah.
not 1 to 5, maybe
This
like
is-
1 to 10 or something. But
yeah.
But it's
I've heard about a lot of people.
It's
that
the
do it.
same because, like, yeah, bigger schools, there's more kids in that school, so more people are obviously going to do it. But, the same amount, like, not the same amount, but there's still a lot of people that do it in, like, smaller schools and smaller towns. It's not just in all the bigger cities.
It's like the same percentage or
Yeah.
Like,
proportion.
It's proportionate and scaled.
Yeah,
basically.
and back to like the drinking thing, you see almost everyone on their 21st birthday gets like super drunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
like,
yeah.
And
that's
Try to
right.
black out or something.
Yeah, that's
The
gonna
dumbest
mess
thing.
up their brain.
Mhm.
Okay, if they still got 3 years to go, that could be like a big thing that can ruin probably their memory, stuff
Yeah.
like that, and like just to drink that much before your brain's fully developed. It's not okay. I think they should bring the legal age back up to 24. Well, not back up
Oh.
to 24.
Yeah.
Here's the one topic that I'm expecting an argument on. In this one, I hate talking about this topic because everyone's like, "Oh, you think that weed should be legalized? Oh, you're totally like a pothead." But I do, because okay, think Colorado was one of the first states to do it.
Yeah.
They send people to college currently for free, just from money off dispensaries, because that goes to the government.
And my friend Brianna, I'm sure you guys see me with that shirt, the CRPS shirt. She has like this chronic disease that medicinal marijuana helps with quite a bit.
Cancer,
Yeah,
cancer
it
patients
helps
use
with
medicinal
cancer.
marijuana.
Everything
if
like
it's if she can actually take it.
Well, and that's medicinal. That is
which is
pretty much legal everywhere. I feel like there is a few states that it's not.
no, it's not here yet. I don't believe.
No.
No.
I know they
It is.
legalized
It
in
is the
Canada.
like right next door.
Canada
in
is
Michigan.
recreational. now.
In Michigan, it is.
Yeah,
It's
Michigan
legal.
has like one of the biggest dispensaries.
Yeah, but I feel like if
And
they
it's
did
legal.
it in a lot of states, like if this whole country became legalized, I feel like it'd be like way over abused.
Too much.
Yeah.
Maybe not way over abused, but it'd be over abused in some areas.
By teenagers.
Too much of
Yeah.
too much of anything
It has
is
to be.
bad. No
Yeah.
matter if it's Monster, if it's soda, or if it's illegal drugs. Well, that are currently.
I wouldn't go that far.
Everything in moderation.
Gotta argue.
But I've not done research. I wouldn't call it research. I've just seen things where it's like it shows the effects of someone who is high compared to someone who is drunk, and that it's so much
Alike, or is
no
it different?
different. Like
Different?
it shows that high is a lot better with certain things, and
Wouldn't,
drunk is
wouldn't
much better
say
with other
like
things.
safer, but
It's definitely not safer, but like let's say like with certain obviously there's different ways of smoking marijuana. Certain ways doesn't even produce smoke into your lungs, which is like one of the biggest problems with smoking anything.
Yeah.
But
Well, if they did legalize it, I feel like they would put
There has to be.
there has to be
There'd
an age
have to
limit
be,
to it
yeah.
because
Colorado was
If
like,
there's
Yeah,
gonna-
it's the age limit is 18.
if there's gonna be like 14-year-old smoking weed, then that's gonna greatly affect probably their brain and stuff.
when I was in Colorado, the laws of marijuana were stricter than they were in places that it's illegal. You have to be 21. You have to show an ID the second you walk into the door to a dispensary. Otherwise, you'll be thrown out by security. If
I
you're
feel like that's
if you're
necessary.
caught,
Like if you're, it's just the same thing as drinking.
it's the
a
same
drug
thing as
that-
drinking. There's a certain amount. If you smoke too much in a day, and
It'll mess
you have like, and it's not like a breathalyzer, but they have something that's like that.
Mhm.
If you show
Blood
positive
alcohol
for
level?
too much, then you
blood
can be arrested.
drug
A
test.
Public highness. I don't know what that's
Well,
called.
I was watching Dr. Phil yesterday, and there was this kid that has he had this disease, this mental disease that he had to take medical marijuana for.
Yeah.
And he had to take it, I think, once in the morning. He had to smoke it. It was like through the lungs.
Yeah, no.
He had to smoke it once in the morning, once in the
But
afternoon
it's not
or lunch.
recreational. It's
and-
for
Yeah, it's-
medical
Yeah,
medicinal.
and once at night, but then like it helped a lot.
But
But
I
then he
feel
started
like that would,
abusing it, and now
Yeah,
he's like
that's
a
wrong.
major pothead.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's what might happen.
Well, I think it's gonna be similar to drinking, where
Mhm.
there's still an age limit, but it's not.
It's still
I
gonna
wouldn't say
happen.
It's strict.
abused,
It's strict.
but I feel like the more available it is, the less motivation people have to do it.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just.
It
It's
really is. When
doesn't
people
make sense.
yeah,
when
when
people
people
are like,
find out something's illegal, they're
I
like,
can
oh,
get
that's
I can
cool,
get
I'm
this
gonna
drug
do it.
and it's illegal.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
if
so
I
it's
do this,
cooler.
I'm Al Capone.
Yeah,
It's just
'cause
like-
cooler
yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
illegal.
Cause
It's
I'm,
just like
I'm a rebel because
Yeah,
Whenever-
I
because it's illegal.
whenever someone
So
else
it's
makes your
cooler.
food, it tastes so much better than when you make it.
Yeah, it's like,
So like doing something like that, like stealing someone's food is gonna taste a lot better than you making your own
Mhm,
food.
Yeah.
mhm.
And like
It's just that.
Probably
It's
doing
that
that,
feeling
it's
of.
the feeling of like rebellion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and at the same time, there's also people that think it's more rewarding to make your own food than to just.
Mhm.
But it's all perspective, I
Yeah,
guess.
like kids or teenagers or whoever, anyone underage, I'll just say that. I feel like they would think it's cooler to like smoke marijuana because in some states it's illegal.
Mhm.
So they feel like they're doing something cooler or like more popular
But
because
think-
it's illegal. So
I would-
instead of like drinking,
That's like the
What do
same
you
thing as
say?
juuling. Like people do it to seem more popular, and that can go on a lot of different go off in a lot of different ways. People do a lot of things, even stupid things, to be more popular.
Yeah.
Like some people like swear a bunch, like Jordan Thiel, to make
Yeah.
themselves feel. He's not gonna watch this video. To make it, I want.
or
Like,
or they change they change the way they act or like.
Change the way they dress, change the
Or-
way they like
Yep.
different sports.
Or
maybe.
even like you
Mhm.
said, Jordan, he like doesn't walk like
Yeah, not
I
the
can't.
kid.
I don't want
He's
to be.
just
I
an
don't want to say
example.
like not a normal person, but like he tries to like strut and like
Swagger.
yeah, he
I
tries
would-
to
I
sway
think
his
this-
shoulders
I-
to think so people think he's cool.
I'll go as far as
But,
to say
like-
that I'm already going off topic from what you guys are talking about. I would go as far as to say that medicinal should be legal in every state. Recreational, that's questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recreational
But
is definitely
medicinal-
questionable, but medicinal,
medicinal
should be,
should be
because
everywhere.
It's known that
Everywhere.
it does help. Don't quote me on this, but it does help people.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I've seen that it's helped like cancer patients a
Cancer
lot.
patients is like where it's mostly used because they have like their metabolism's all messed up. They don't eat,
Yeah,
and
I,
then
It
they
makes
eat.
you
I don't know
hungry.
about you
It
guys.
makes you-
And then
I'd rather
research
rather,
has shown that smoking the medical marijuana like makes you hungry, so
Yeah.
then they want to eat.
and
I'd
then
rather I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather take medicinal marijuana, like do medicinal marijuana to cure a cancer that I would have if I
Yeah.
had cancer.
Yeah.
Than get radiation pumped through my body.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
because it's not
exactly.
as hard. I mean,
which could
don't get
probably
me.
cause more cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like radiation, obviously,
It
not
helps.
good for your body.
It helps.
Yeah,
But
but it's not good for
it's
your
not
body.
good.
But
And you know,
Medical-
marijuana
medical
isn't fully
marijuana.
good for your body.
it's not good for your body, but it
Yeah,
helps,
but-
and it's
And
not as
in a way,
bad.
it's not bad for
It's
your
not
body
as
either.
bad.
Yeah, back
It's not
to
bad for your body.
back to like the same point that we made before. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna like, that's why people.
You have to be
That's
responsible.
why pharmacists prescribe you, Because if they don't give you a prescription, you'll be like, oh, do I have to take 4? Do I have to take 1? Do
Yeah.
I have to take them every 20 minutes? Do I have to take them every 4 hours?
Mhm.
You're not going to know. That's why they prescribe things, just so.
And I think with medicinal, like you talked about that kid on Dr. Phil, he probably
Yeah.
thought he was being cool. I feel like if you were a cancer patient or someone who needed, even ADHD, some of those kids need take medicinal marijuana. I feel like if you're taking it for a good cause, like an illness, you don't have the feeling of saying, "Oh, I'm going to abuse this," because
You're
like,
trying to,
you need
you're
it.
trying to better
You need
yourself.
it.
You're trying to
You
better
need it.
yourself.
Yeah. So if you go on a tangent and smoke all your medicinal marijuana in one day,
They don't
or in a few
resupply. They
days,
don't resupply.
they're not
you
going
right
to
away.
resupply you.
There's a time limit. From,
And then you've
till when you
messed
get-
up. Maybe that's like the last thing that was going to help you. And
Yeah.
now you've messed up. You can't have more.
no, because they have a time
You
limit
screwed yourself.
of
Yeah,
when
you do.
they have a time limit of when they supply you. So they prescribe you for however many times you're supposed
day,
to take this
yeah.
drug a day.
Yeah.
And then they use that and they calculate when you're gonna, so they know when you'll be out and you need a.
Yeah.
You need a
They-
refill.
yeah,
Yeah,
you-
that's
then
what
you
the
need a
pharmacy does
refill.
too.
And then also,
So they won't supply you until your refill date.
there's
So if you
not all
abuse it, then
medicinal
you're not gonna.
marijuana is smoked.
Yeah.
There sometimes it's like it's not like grounded up, but it's like turned into like almost
A powder.
a powder,
Yeah, you
and
like
that
put in drinks
that's put in
or
either
something?
drinks or sometimes like not an IV, but some kind of shot that you'll take.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I know some medicinal is
It's been like an hour and a half, right?
So
no, not even close, probably.
some podcasts are 4.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, we'll figure out what we want
Yeah.
eventually. But
So-
I mean, some are. I mean,
No, not at all.
But yeah. Is that actually?
Mhm.
And if we want to keep going, we have to do new topic.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time on
Yeah,
certain
but
things.
it's an interesting topic and it needs to be talked about.
It is.
I feel like, and for like about the, okay, so we start that about like the AR-15 banning and like all these topics that we've talked about. I feel like having younger teens talk about it will be more effective than adults
It's in adults.
because it's like we're more, I wouldn't say exposed, but like
Like APT to do it.
apt, yeah, more apt to hear about it and things like that, and to have
And experience it even.
and to have kids like this, like us,
Mhm.
talk about it, then they know it's probably like something that they should.
I mean, we're the next generation. It's just we need to know all this. We need to talk about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we can have like our own opinions. And,
New topic. I thought of a good one.
all right.
Article 13 in the FCC.
Yeah.
Especially based off of like memes. So if you know what Article 13 is, that
Yeah,
was
it banned me.
the
It banned
EU.
memes and
Oh,
like
is
in
that
the
part
EU.
of net
in
neutrality?
Europe.
that's like EU's net neutrality. But FCC and JIPI, the head chairman or whatever, tried to do that in the U.S. I live off of memes. You can't do that.
Yeah, and then they made a meme
Can't
about it.
do
I
that
hate
shit.
I hate
Right?
it.
Didn't they make a meme about Article 13?
Yeah.
And I, like stopped it.
Yeah, they stopped Article 13 by turning Article 13 into a meme, so that the meme banishment was a meme, and then it broke its own rules, and it actually stopped it somehow.
Yeah, like in Europe, I think that's just like the stupidest thing ever. I mean, I see like why they think it's
Some memes,
copyright. Some memes are like completely copyright.
yeah,
like-
and some memes are extremely offensive, and some people don't find funny. They find it
Yeah.
awful.
Like
Mm.
like sandwich memes.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Awful.
sandwich memes that they don't even post memes anymore. It's,
It's
like
just
literally
all
videos of
sensitive
people
content.
dying.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Oh my
some
God.
people
Yeah.
have that kind of. Sometimes it is funny because you don't know what happens. Like it'll just be like a random big explosion. But when you see something like literally, you see a video of some dude getting shot over and over again. That
Yeah.
kind of
That they should be.
How is that allowed? Even if you have
Even
like,
if you pull like the sensitive content guideline,
That shouldn't be.
I think they should put that
Well,
on
okay,
like,
they're on-
offensive memes.
they're on
not
sand-
people dying.
They're on
Yeah.
Sandwich Memes version 3 because they've been banned twice already.
If you get banned, I feel like you shouldn't make another account because you get banned for a reason.
Yeah. Or make another account and not do what you did.
Yeah.
Don't even go to memes.
Change what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Change your
And it might be different if I had the 5 million followers that they do instead of like my 300, but I still don't fully understand it.
300 may be generous.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just like randomly guessing.
I don't even have 300. I think I'm at like 220. Irrelevant.
So,
I wonder what the first meme was.
It's probably like
I'm assuming it wasn't even like
So much for
meant to
conspiracy
be. I feel like it was like back in
like cave art days.
Yeah, like-
they're like, look at this joke, dude.
or like in
So much for
in newspaper articles.
Yeah, I know.
Like
That's
the
what I was
old
thinking.
ones, like the ones that like Ben Franklin wrote, like political cartoons. I feel like those could
Those
have been
those
the first
definitely were
memes.
Right.
I wouldn't call them like memes, but I'd say like
I think
puns or jokes or political cartoons. That's
yeah.
meme
Yeah.
culture. That makes me cringe. Meme culture has become a lot different from like such epic I'm a Doge to like I'm Big Chungus, owner of the universe. Yeah, like that's the dumbest stuff that people find funny. I mean, it's hypocritical for me to say because I find it funny. But
yeah. It's also it's like,
it's just so
but I
weird.
don't. It's the we're all millennials, not really, but like
Millennial
kind of.
Falcon.
yeah.
It's
Like,
the
we
fact of how stupid it is that makes it like
Yeah,
funny.
Like I
Yeah.
showed my parents memes, like the bus down meme that I sent you.
they think it's absolutely
He just shook his head.
like stupid. They think it's absolutely
Wait
stupid.
to say something. I almost didn't know what you were gonna say.
Yeah, they think it's absolutely dumb, and
Mhm.
they
And
think it's
sometimes it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Like,
Sometimes it's the most
it's the
dumb
stupidity.
thing ever.
It's the stupidity of the video that makes it funny.
Yeah.
Like Big Chungus,
It's a picture of a
I don't
fat
even-
rabbit.
a fat rabbit.
And this was like years later after
Shaggy,
that cartoon.
who
was
came
made.
up? Who came up with like having a picture of Velma talking about the movie and said like, yeah, all that Shaggy had to do was use 1% of his power. Who thought that was funny and then
Who
posted
fixed
it?
it?
Posted it
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Who comes up with the name Big Chungus for a rabbit?
big yeah. Like I understand the big
Exactly.
because he's like
You know,
huge.
Chungus.
Like,
What is Chungus?
Chungus. What even is Chungus?
Look it up. Look it up. What's the meaning?
Watch
of
Big
Chungus?
Chungus be like the scientific name for that kind of rabbit.
Yeah.
The thing is, they go back like those, the Shaggy meme and Chungus meme.
Yeah, we find
They're
things
from,
funny
like,
that are
years ago.
from like years
Yeah.
ago.
Like people just
Where
randomly find, like,
our
huh,
parents
that's
grew
funny.
up, our parents grew up watching this stuff.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like a massive meme. Or
Yeah.
AirPods, they were out in like, what was it, 2017?
Yeah,
They
and it's
released-
still a meme.
No, like it wasn't even a meme until like,
I don't think anyone knew what AirPods were in 2017. I didn't.
no.
I didn't know.
And then all of a sudden, I feel like it was guerrilla advertising, which is the making of like a meme or something like that to promote.
Mhm.
And I feel like, I don't, like, this could be a conspiracy theory, but I feel like Apple started the AirPods meme because they were out for a year and a half before it started, and then all of a sudden the internet just blows up
That's
with all
genius.
these AirPod. Yeah, it's called guerrilla advertising.
Yeah.
I watched a video on it.
Also,
yeah, they're trying to.
how do some
Promote
things
their
become a
product.
meme? Like okay, earlier we played Toto Africa and John Denver stuff because it's funny and everyone like sings that because it's a meme. But who's like, this song's definitely a meme, bro.
Yeah, imagine being memed. Like
It's a song.
you make a hit song.
Can that-
that's
can
like,
that-
And you
I don't think that feels
like,
good.
And it's good. And they're like,
Yeah, I mean,
most
it
of the
feels
time they're
good because people
songs.
watch it because then they're part of the meme.
But then they think it's. But then
But
you have
they're
people
not
that
listening to
watch
it
it
for the
and
song.
they think it's funny.
Yeah.
And like it's someone that has worked so hard at something and for something, and then people like make a joke out
yeah,
of it.
I feel
or
like
make a
that's
meme.
part of the reason why they enforced Article 13
Yeah. I
for
do
copyright and just for like, I don't want to say the well-being of like, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
It
what I'm
makes the
saying.
respect of artists
Yeah.
and people who
Yeah,
actually.
if I was an artist, I would sure I'd be like a little mad that they made fun of you, but imagine how much money you'd be making from it.
Yeah, like
From
all of a
some
sudden,
people.
like you make a song like Africa that didn't come out.
Can
recently,
anyone else name it? Oh, I can, I guess, but
Or like in Fallout, like The Wanderer. That's like that was probably a really popular song back in the 50s and 60s when it came out, and then it probably went dead for 30 years until that game came out, and it was really popular.
I
Popular
think
again.
that
Or like
video games are like the biggest influence on
Yeah.
music and
Yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
Like, okay, Big Iron, no one would have known what that was unless Fallout 3 came out.
Yeah.
or to be something more recent, Bird Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're blindfolds.
Okay, who the oh, that meme makes me angry
Mhm.
because it's like Bird Box challenge.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. Like, it's not even funny.
No.
I don't understand the premise of the movie. What?
It's such a dark
Where did
thing.
they get? I understand where Bird Box came from because they had a box of
With a
birds.
bird in it.
But what is the monster?
It's like an
It's the
invisible
people.
demon.
I understand it's the people that get. Like,
I've watched the first 4 minutes and I was like,
I
this is
haven't
garbage.
watched it.
Turn
I've
it
watched-
off.
I watched the entire movie.
I
It's
watched
like,
the thing where it's like they make fun of movies, like that YouTube channel.
it's like an invisible
Sin
demon
Council,
thing.
Simpsons.
It's like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
invisible demon thing, but when
But what I
when in the
who
scenes
was the
when,
first person that
yeah,
looked into something and
but when
looked like they just came back from
in
the eye
every
doctor?
scene where someone sees the invisible demons,
Whatever
Whatever.
they even are.
yeah, it doesn't show what they are.
Well, what
It
is
just
Why
shows
did they
like
never even
it just
show
shows
them?
like leaves rustling or a shadow. But how can something invisible have
Well,
a
no.
shadow?
What they see is like their greatest fear, or like something that
Yeah.
they care so much about, and
Yeah.
something really sad. Like in one scene, this
Olympia.
woman like walked into her flaming car, and like
Yeah.
sat down in it.
She was like she
'Cause
saw
her
it.
dad. I
She
think,
no,
that was
her
back
mom.
then. Oh.
She's trying to help people get inside, and she looks up and sees whatever the demon is or whatever,
Or
and then looks up in the sky and is calling out to her mother that had been dead for like 20 years or something, and walked into a flaming car and shut the door.
Yeah, that's just like have you guys ever seen the Hunger Games?
But then there's
Like-
people
Like at certain times
they see it, and then
at certain times there's like natural
They watch
disasters
it.
like lightning, and then at one time there were mockingbirds that like would imitate like people that they used to
Mhm.
like their parents that were dead. Like I remember watching it and like what's her name?
Katniss.
Yeah, Katniss, like, you know how she saved Rue, or didn't save Rue, but she saw Rue, like, die in that field of flowers or something.
Yeah.
She heard Rue calling out her, Katniss's name, and she, like,
It was like a trap, right?
imagine.
just to drive
or
them
but
insane.
then back to Bird Box, like
Did you know
there's the people that see it and they get so sad and upset that it makes them want to commit suicide. But then there's the other, like, certain people that see it and then it's like they're God. And they want to make other people see it,
you
no
know,
matter if it makes them suicidal or happy.
There's
like,
people
whatever
that
you
do
wanna
that
call
kind
it.
of thing as like a sick prank though. There's a Reddit that I don't follow anymore. It was called it was like search and rescue. It was people that work for search and rescue and told you like creepy stories, right? And there was one where this girl was lost for for 4 months or something like that. And the parents called crying and they went out there. And they got to this area that was just a bunch of dead trees, and then there was like a circle in the middle that was just kind of covered in wood or in like bark and leaves and stuff they couldn't really see. And it was kind of just like a dead area. Everything else was green and this was like dead. And then they heard like the girl crying that they needed to find, right? But they kept circling around just to like see if they could see her before they went in there. And then like their last time circling around, they realized that it was on a loop. So someone was playing it.
and stuff like that, that people are dumb.
Yeah.
Like, people are dumb back to, like, when we first talked about gun control. They don't need to take away the guns because the people are dumb enough to use them for harm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just people are stupid nowadays.
People are stupid.
People are really
I
stupid.
think everyone's stupid.
Like in Homeroom the other day, this chick parked your car and then it snowed, and it left an imprint of a penis in the snow. Like her car did, and then her neighbor saw it and called homeowners association or services and said that she needed to be in trouble because she left a obscene image on their thing when she parked her car, and it didn't even look like. It looked like an imprint of a car, and I didn't even see like how she could get it mixed up with that. But then like the lady got in trouble. It was stupid.
What can you even get? Can you even get in trouble for that? What? Leaving an obscene image? Is that?
Like not
Well,
even on
obscenity
purpose.
is
With
Oh,
what
yeah, I
proof,
guess,
though?
but
I mean,
Exactly.
if it was just cameras, you could see the bullying.
It's people are dumb nowadays. Like really dumb.
The dash cam.
People get offended so easily.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Like
Whatever.
You say gay, or you call the guy sir, that is a guy, and she's like, and he is like, it's ma'am, or like the whole, okay, Bruce Jenner.
Don't say Bruce Jenner. That's my trigger word.
Bruce Jenner like becomes a thing. I feel like that triggered a lot of the transgenderism. 'Cause, like you barely ever heard about it, and then Bruce Jenner, and then bang, like people are like, hey, there's 95 Jenners. Hey, I'm actually not a male. I'm a chick.
I'm bi. You're bi. Aren't we all kind of bi?
It's
so
just
bad.
it makes me mad how dumb people are nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
I can't really say nowadays. It doesn't really mean anything to me because it's like the first time I've actually realized how dumb people are, and I haven't really experienced it otherwise. Like when I was younger, because I didn't really know what that stuff was.
It's all about their parents, though.
Yeah,
It's just how they're
parents have like liberal families have liberal roots. Like Grace Florence, she was like mad liberal. She bought a MAGA hat in DC. She bought a MAGA hat in DC. Went home, took a video of her burning it. Bought it for $20 just to burn it. That's
actually
that's
like a waste.
insane. It's like if her parents were Republican, she says that she wouldn't be liberal, but no, that's all.
Plus, like, families would. There's some families that, like, disown other people for having their own opinions, like, in their family.
Yeah, and like entitled moms. I watched a video on like an r/entitled moms, and like there was one where this babysitter and her my mom's going over. Babysitter and her 8-year-old daughter were like playing a video game on a train or on a bus, and then like a girl and her little, or a woman or a mom and her little 8-year-old boy were sitting behind him, and the boy was like, "Hey, can I play that game too?" It's like, "Mom, I'm bored. I want to play that game
and
too."
took the console.
And jumped over and grabbed the console
Yeah.
from her hands, and the mom was like, "What? My son just wants to play too.
Yeah.
Can't you just let him play?"
I read
He's
that
just
exact
having
one.
fun."
Yeah.
And it's just
They
bad.
got him like
because
kicked
people
off
are
the
dumb.
bus and stuff. It was awful.
It's just people are so dumb nowadays.
I know.
Yeah.
I guess we can wrap it up now.
Yeah, probably. I was gonna say that anyway.
Pretty good first episode.
Good
Epic.
first episode. What was that? Almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
Probably.
something like that.
All right. That one was 47 minutes long.